1 hour later.
Welcome to my channel, guys. Welcome to I Tweak Sometimes. Because I really be tweaking sometimes. You guys can call me Sleepy or Tweak, whichever of the two you would prefer. Uh, and yeah, this is my first video, man. I'm about to get right into it and not waste any time. But first, I want to start off by saying that I don't condone cheating or intentionally messing around with someone you know is in a relationship. This isn't an attempt to romanticize it at all. I think cheating is pretty much one of the worst things, if not the worst thing you could ever put someone you care about through, and that you shouldn't do it. Literally, most people would prefer you break up with them. I also want to make it clear that I'm retelling this story from the lens of a younger, immature version of myself, so any criticism you might have on some of the decisions I made, please keep that in mind. There will be humor in there, but I do hope that me sharing this story will help you guys not to make the same mistakes I did and to treat the people closest to you more respectfully despite whatever feelings you may have for them or they may have for you, and to hold them and yourself accountable for actions that cross boundaries that are otherwise not a reflection of their overall character. Alright, let's get into the video. Okay, so boom. This all started in like 11th grade in high school. I think that's when I first met this girl. Let's call her Lashonda. So Lashonda and I had a mutual friend group and would end up becoming real close. Like, I don't remember the first thing we ever talked about, but because we were both like anime nerds, it was probably about anime or something related. The more we talked, the more I learned that she was basically a female version of myself. Like, she had the nerd nigga starter kit. She was a weeb, loved hoodies, loved anime, loved gaming, loved using gamer slang. Honestly, she might have been more of a nerd than me, not gonna lie. Surprisingly, she also liked to draw just like I do, so we truly were like the same person. We eventually started hanging out a lot, and we even knew where each other lived and would soon work at the same part time job together. We talked pretty much every day and always joked around whenever we saw each other. Even if we were just passing by to get to a class, we were sort of just hit this weird stance. I don't even know what to call it. It was that weird squatting thing where you would make your body wide and raise your shoulders to like assert dominance. I'm just gonna leave it up in the video for reference. Let me know if you know what the hell this is or what's it called. And if you ever did this shit with your friends, or maybe you were just the person that did it. You were just that fucking one weirdo. Yeah, we would dead hit that shit like nobody was watching. Not gonna lie, we probably made ourselves seem even more weirder than what people had already assumed. But we didn't give a fuck. We already accepted our fate with being known as the dorks that just keep to themselves and would fumble over words whenever an outsider would dare to interact with us.
I was going to foot him.
Yeah, we were lame. But at least we had each other. I never really acknowledged her as a girl at this point, and that's not because of her tomboyish personality. I mean, she had a pretty cute face and was fairly attractive, so it's not like she was ugly either. It's genuinely because I saw this girl as my best friend. We would have so much fun around each other, but I did eventually start to notice her when we both got into relationships. Now, listen. Peak maturity is realizing that people's feelings can change
Oh
and
my
they might
God, Robert.
start to have feelings for another person. And it's a canon event for sure. Like, most of us already had to deal with that shit. In my case, that didn't immediately change anything, especially because I wasn't sure if she was into me like that or if it would even be worth risking the friendship. Plus, I had a girlfriend already who I actually really cared about, so I just flicked off those icky little fifis I was getting, and things pretty much remained normal. Later on, we would graduate high school, get our diplomas, and whatnot. But I think a while before that, we kind of got into a fight about some diabolical shit her boyfriend finessed me with that I might talk about in another video. But yeah, After school, I remember we didn't talk for a while. Like a year later, we somehow reconnected through some type of evil air force, which led us to start hanging out again. You're gonna understand why I call it evil soon. It was pretty easy to get back to the way we was, considering that we were pretty much the same people. So we basically was on the same dumb high school juvenile behavior. Except we had jobs and money. So now we could do even more dumb shit. I don't really remember how we got to this point, but one day we were just chilling at her mom's in the front yard because while I'm sure her mom would have been fine with me in the crib, she had like mad siblings in there, which would have kind of killed the vibe for her, I guess. So we just stayed in the front yard since her mom also runs a script program. She also was already suspicious of us, given that we were like opposite sex, and I ain't gonna lie, she was right to be. But back to what's happening here. So, mind you, I'm thinking we were just like rekindling our lost friendship because she was still in a relationship with old dude, and I was single at the time, and yeah, I still had a little crush on her, but I was still completely oblivious to the following proceedings. I bet. So while we was chilling, I think we got bored and kicked up like some fake beef and started wrestling. I know what you're thinking, but this wasn't out of the ordinary for our friendship dynamic. Like we did always conducted some type of play fighting for as long as we been cool on some siblinghood type shit. So I genuinely did not realize how much of a compromising position I was in until things got too physical. I thought I was being weird and definitely needed to ignore little bro down there, but somehow we ended up kissing. I mean, it was short, but it also wasn't a little kiss either. Like, I'm sure we threw some tongue around, but afterward, I expected her to be like, oh no, I made a mistake. This wasn't supposed to happen. And then I feel bad and banish myself to eternal damnation. Especially since I initiated the kiss because I thought that was the vibe. But nah, this girl drops the craziest line ever. This girl gonna tell me. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but I've been deprived. Huh? But nah, I was like, what you mean? But she basically explained that she was down bad because her boyfriend been out of town for a while, and she's been crackless ever since he left. I just went like, oh, okay, makes sense. And I didn't really even know how to feel at the moment because it shifted from me thinking I read the room wrong and forced a kiss on my best friend to wait, so she's taking her frustrations out on me? Should I be the one that's upset? I truly wasn't, so I didn't really know how to navigate the situation here. Just after that, one of my mans at the time pulled up because me and him was supposed to go on a mission to secure some dubs on the basketball court. I was still a little confused, but good for the most part, and Lashonda, on the other hand, didn't seem to be doing too bad either. She was pretty chill about what just went down. I mean, on the surface, I'm sure she felt some type of guilt in her heart about it.
3 hours later. 1 hour later.
Damn, the moment of truth. Of course, I was already aware of exactly what she wants me here for by this point, but I still kept it calm. I still held off on any expectations of the slightest chance that I'm just delusional and again misread the vibe here, even though I didn't misread it the first time. So anyway, she was in at her mom's house this time, although that's where we usually kick it. Since her and her older sister were college students, her mom decided to give them their own space. So she got an apartment like 3 houses up the street, and that's where she actually stayed at. It wasn't much of a walk since we were like 3 blocks away from each other. And when I got there, I texted her to let her know that I pulled up. In front of the apartment was really dark, like down to her doorstep. There was like no light, no porch light, nothing. And I I couldn't even see myself, nigga. Yes, YouTube, I'm black. She opens up the door and all I see is a straight void behind her. Absolutely no light whatsoever in that hole. I instantly gave her that what the fuck look, but she probably couldn't even see my face because of how dark her porch was. She holds my hand as she leads me in the crib, which is brand new and foreign behavior, and I just kept it cool and went along with it. I didn't even ask why the hell all her lights were off. Now, if some candles spontaneously lit up in that hole and strange people in black cloaks showed up on some satanic ritual shit, yeah, I would have been cooked. But apparently, it was the set of lights out in there, because her sister was asleep, so that calmed my suspicion, but solidified my conviction. Am I right? We were in the common area, and Shorty turned to ask me what I want to do, acting all clueless like we just here to be baking cookies and frosting cakes in here. Oh, wait. So I just looked her dead in the black hole where her face was supposed to be and shrugged because I'm not sure if I should be the one to initiate her basically full blown cheating on her boyfriend. Like, at least I could say, bro, she cracked me, but I later tell the story on my YouTube channel someday. Anyway, she suggested we should try wrestling on the floor. And at that point, I already knew for sure what time it was. Like that was like the confirmation. Because everybody knows that play fighting, play wrestling, like okay, sure, in the front of the yard, like it could have fly, but in the privacy or your own home, and there's just like two people involved here. We all know what that means. It's a Hall of Fame maneuver before the cracking. So we fake toss each other around on the ground until shit got a little spicy, and we ended up making out and doing the do. Not going to give into any type of details about it because this is YouTube. And buddy, close that incognito tab. I know you got one of those open. Close it. God damn. Go on her. Side note, I remember almost wanting to laugh because she hit that one peekaboo shit girls be doing when they cheating on their nigga, hiding their face and shit. Yeah, that happened. We went a few more times until it was getting too late for me to be here, because I gotta traverse through the ghettos of Nassau, Bahamas to get back to my house. From there on, we sort of hooked up on the regular, and the friendship was indeed starting to change. Eventually, her boyfriend got back, and me and her was still smashing until the guilt led her to break up with him. Yeah, you probably can guess where this is going. This happened sometime later in the timeline, but I kind of forgot how much time would have passed before. But anyway, she would confess that she always had a crush on me back in high school, and us getting close again reignited that. So I told her I felt the same way and still did, but I explained why I didn't think it was a good idea back then, especially because I didn't even know if she wanted me for real. Like I didn't know if she was feeling me like that. I kind of straight up asked her if she wanted to try dating, but she told me she needed time to get over bro, which I found understandable. So I told her I'd wait, and it's cool if she didn't want to at all. However, she seemed to want to. Like she didn't object to the idea. So I just hope that things ended up going my way when she does give me an answer. We would still hang out on a regular, but it was genuinely back on some platonic shit. Well, mostly.
Stop the cap.
She was still seeing her ex, and I wanted to tell her that that was probably not a good idea. She's trying to get over him. But honestly, I just felt focused on keeping her company and not criticizing her antics because I felt responsible for her guilt. Like, I felt bad. Like, even though I didn't care about old dude, I still cared about and had love for her. So I felt back to give her space. Eventually, she would stop seeing bro, and like a month later, I think we would have that relationship talk again and actually try dating, which did not work out at all and turned out to be the worst relationship I have ever been in. But that's going to be talked about in the next video. So like, comment, and subscribe, or I'm feeding you boiled barnacle belly, little bro. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.